mean, I've had it out a couple of places. I'm not afraid to whip it out and show it off to everybody. Take that, clip it, and do with it what you will.
And now we welcome to the Masked Man Show the living legend, the champion, and I think the champion for a while to come, Drew McIntyre. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, lads. It's been a minute.
This is a little bit off subject, but since you are the hater of the decade in WWE, I wanted to get your reading on who came out on top between CM Punk and Roman Reigns in their promo battle Monday night.
I mean, I still don't consider myself technically a hater, more of a truth teller.
Okay.
But since I don't really watch Raw that often, I saw the clips. I guess going by the clips, a tie. They both lose. If I have to pick one, like I saw what Punk said, and I saw some of the outrage, and I just got asked about it in the last interview. I was like, what do you think of that line? I was like, I've said worse, so I can't judge. Maybe
yeah. Oh, that's great. Well, Randy Orton, Randall, someone you have a history with, had won the Elimination Chamber and is the number one contender to your title. Of course, you're defending that title on SmackDown against none other than Cody Rhodes. Between those two guys, and just for the sake of it, let's throw in Jacob Fatu and hell, Sami Zayn. He's been lingering around the title picture a little bit too. Who would be your choice for someone to face at WrestleMania?
Well, I tried to do Sami a solid and give him an opportunity to finally break the streak of 12-0. I beat him 12 times. Imagine he had that opportunity at WrestleMania, was able to overcome Drew McIntyre, and there was a full family there and a big celebration. I set him up perfect. He chose to kick me in the face, and Cody took advantage of it to move into the Elimination Chamber match. So Sami clearly didn't want it enough, so I guess that disqualifies him. And I've said all along, anybody but Cody. Like, he's had this title so long, a stranglehold on it. Somebody had to step up and finally liberate the title. I got screwed in the first two matches with him, with his crooked referees, management protecting the Golden Boy, and in Berlin I overcame the odds with Jacob interference, overcame Jacob and Cody, got my hands on the title, said to Aldis, I want a stipulation in that contract, right in there, no rematch, no matter what. And he said, well, unless he wins Rumble or Chamber, okay, fair enough. And I was very particular about the wording because I'm not an idiot. And then at the Rumble, he fell out the ring for some reason. And then at Chamber, he didn't win for some reason. The contract doesn't say in little letters, no rematch unless Drew interferes in every single one. It says no rematch unless he won those two matches, and he didn't win any of those matches. And then Aldis freaks out. Damn hooligan, makes a match, breaches the contract. I'm still working on it right now to get the match changed. I get 2 days to make sure it doesn't happen because, quite frankly, it's BS. Aldis is a BS general manager. We go back years. He should be looking after me, protecting me, but it's clear he protects the Golden Boy. Fired up on me, took off his jacket, he was going to throw a punch. Come on, mate. These days, he's all show, no go. He's not been in the ring for a long time. He's not a multiple WWE champion like Drew McIntyre. Drop him in his arse, but at the same time, I'm a big guy. Well, if it was one of the little guys, which is basically all of the other guys, he'd be intimidated like that. He's a large man. What if it was someone else? What if it was like one of his fellow crew members or something? You can't have somebody like that in a position of power. So I say, get all this out, get this match cancelled, get me to WrestleMania.
What do you? I mean, a lot of people have been fantasizing about a match between you and Nick Aldis. I mean, I know you guys have a history. I know he's been out of the ring for a while. He's a former NWA champion. What would a match like that look like in 2026?
In 2026, it'd be a massacre. I mean, he's been out of the ring for a long time. We had limited interactions in the ring, and I was a big fan of his. And I think in the modern era of NWA, he was the best champion there's been. But he's been out of the ring forever. He keeps himself in great shape, but there's a difference between great gym shape and great ring shape. I'm currently absolutely jacked out of my mind, and I'm the champion of the world, which means I'm the best in ring-wise, which means he'd be absolutely massacred in the ring. But if Nick wants to fire up and be the tough guy, let me get a plan. Let's get through Friday. So ideally, the match is cancelled because of a breach of contract. If not, I will figure out a way to get through this match with the title. I beat one of my biggest rivals of all time, Randy Orton, at WrestleMania. I've got my whole family coming. The moment they didn't get at the 2020 WrestleMania, everyone had to stay home, obviously. Now they get to come see me walk out with the title. I'll run through Randy Orton at WrestleMania. And then, if Nick wants to get crazy, Backlash, Turin, get in the ring with me. Let's see what happens.
Okay. Ben, Brian, you want to get in?
So much to unpack there, Drew. But you mentioned that before we started, you talked about how you just finished up at the gym, and you just mentioned, and rightfully so, that how jacked you are right now. And so I just wanted to kind of take you back a little bit. There he is. This pod's coming to video soon, so we're going to make sure we pause it on that one. In September, it was actually the 15-year anniversary of you and Cody winning the tag team titles together. Night of Champions, 2010. Wow. So I was, you were still jacked then. And so, but you're obviously both in very different positions now in the company. And I guess, what do you remember most about working with Cody then and winning those titles? And how does it compare to, I guess, I know you're trying to get the match, voided for this Friday, but how does it compare to working with Cody now versus 15 years ago?
It's unfortunate, like where we're both at these days is we've taken such similar paths. Back then, we were both determined to be on top of the industry. The company had such big plans for us until they didn't. And when we won the tag titles, we were so confident in ourselves, probably so full of ourselves back then, that we were like, why are we tag team champions? Why are we not both fighting for the world title right now? This is silly. Like, that's really how we thought at the time. So we had to kind of be humbled, take our own journeys, which took us outside the company, back inside the company, such parallel paths. But at the same time as where I've ended up, he's ended up multiple time, former world champions, current world champion. With myself, you get someone like Cody Rhodes, does the sunshine lollipops, big smiles, shaking hands, kissing babies thing, does whatever he can. Backstage, he is the golden boy. And I never understood it because he is that talented. He is that good. But I guess he's willing to go the extra mile because Cody is happy and everything's great so long as he's champion. That he's not cracking like he's been cracking since I've been champion. When it comes to Drew McIntyre, I did that whole route. I became the fighting champion in 2020. I was big, not just, it was genuine. I was smiling. I was happy, and I was giving people an escape during that time. But I've been on the journey I've been on. I've seen the truth. And the truth is I have to be myself at all times. If people don't like it necessarily, the roster don't necessarily like it when I'm truthful and I act out the way I act out, and it's justified when I act out. Sometimes management don't like what I have to say. Sometimes when I'm in a restaurant and I'd say my opinion, people don't like what I have to say, but I have to be me at all times. And that's the difference right there, because I'm 100% real. And I told everybody that when I win the title, it ain't going to be the same. It's not going to be sunshine lollipops anymore. It's going to be dangerous and unpredictable. And that's exactly what it's been. And in my opinion, it's been far more interesting and way more interesting than Raw, quite frankly. Smackdown recently, and right in the center, you've got Drew McIntyre, not with the bullseye on my back. I put the bullseye in everyone else's back as they're all coming after me.
Wow. Well, Drew, I mean, I know you've been putting the bullseye on everybody else's back, but have you had a chance to at least smell your flowers a little bit while you've been champ? I mean, you going in everybody's faces.
Everyone keeps talking trash, jumping me left and right, and giving Cody title matches when he shouldn't get title matches. I don't get an opportunity to breathe, to smell the flowers. I guess in Glasgow, the night after I won the title, that was the one night where I got to walk out in front of my people with the title, in front of a live crowd, say I told you all I was going to do it, and I've kept my word. And then ever since then, it's been absolute hell. With people breathing down my neck, be it backstage, in the ring, wherever I go, there's somebody trying to make my life a living hell. I should be enjoying myself as champion.
Should
be able to, like you say, smell the roses. I've done it like multiple times before. At this point in my career, it should be easy. It should be a breeze. And for some reason, it's the most difficult period. And that's what makes us, who we are. I've been through more ups and downs than anybody in history. I've been screwed more times than Bret Hart. And I'm the man I am today because of all those times I've been knocked on my arse. And it's going to keep happening, and I'm willing to keep taking it because it's best for the show. It's best for SmackDown. What's best is I beat Cody on Friday if I have to fight him. I beat Randy Orton at WrestleMania. And then since we're fantasy booking right now, I massacre Nick Aldis right after.
You've been on the Mask or the Ringer Wrestling show. And we did the math 4 or 5 times, I believe. At least the past 3 times, the interview has largely been about that the fact that the world title has escaped you, right? I mean, you won during COVID, but you never really got your chance to run with it. So I wonder, when you talk about smelling the roses, when you have an opportunity, when you win a match in Glasgow, do you take the title belt with you when you go celebrate? I mean, it's sitting right next to you now, looking great. You're not clutching it over your shoulder like some of the less confident people we've interviewed. Do you ever take that belt out into the world and show it off?
Yeah. I mean, I've had it out a couple of places. I'm not afraid to whip it out and show it off to everybody. Take that, clip it, and do with it what you will. But also, yeah, I'm not going to have it on my shoulder, worried someone's going to run in the room. If they're running in the room, one, I'll beat their arse. Two, I've got some giant swords behind me, and I'll quickly deal with them if anybody tries to come in and mess with my title. But yeah, I'm proud to be champion. It's just, yeah, I've not had that chance to truly take it in. And I've got the feeling that the way my career is now, the amount of obstacles I'm constantly fighting, I'm not going to get to smell the roses until the last day of my career when I'm retired and I'm safely in my compound. I can sit down and take a breath and go, whew. It wasn't easy, but you know what? It was worth it. And in the end, I won. So I've always said I'm not going to be one of those guys when he retires and says, what if, what if, what if? That's why I say what I want and I do what I want at all times. And I did it since Hell in a Cell when I was out for 3 months. One person called that entire time. The fans moved on. They'd already started taking Punk's side, even though I pointed out what an awful human being he was, using fact after fact after fact. And I realized, oh my God, it doesn't matter if you're Drew McIntyre, The Rock, Stone Cold, Triple H, who literally sits backstage. They're not thinking about you at all unless you're literally right in front of their face. They move on. You got to get yours while you can. And right now, I'm getting mine.
I don't want to dwell on when all is said and done, because you got many years ahead of you and hopefully many as champion. But there was an interview with Michael Jordan one time where someone asked him, the greatest basketball player of all time, what he was looking forward to in retirement. And he said he's looking forward to getting a pot belly. Do you have any? You're as one of the best built guys in the history of pro wrestling. When you're done, are you gonna still walk around looking like Drew McIntyre, or are you looking forward to skipping a couple of leg days?
No, I'll never skip leg day. That's just ridiculous. Constantly telling half our guys, you do realize you've got a lower body, and it'll help you extend your career. You saw in the video game, I've got the strongest legs as well, which is pretty cool. No, I'll always stay in shape. I've always been an athlete my whole life. I'll always be an athlete in some form. I understand, and I've had to do it already. I've adapt your training as you go. As you get a little bit older, most people think I'm in my mid-40s right now. I just turned 40, everybody. I've got years and years left. I've adapted my training, adapted my diet, and I feel better than I've ever felt in my life with the amount of mobility work that I'm doing that I never did up to this point. So I get a feeling it's going to go along those lines. I'll still keep great size. I'll still be ripped to hell. I'll probably be more ripped to hell. I'll probably have an 8-pack. And I'll be mobile as hell. I'll be DDP, swinging my leg around my head.
Do you have any dietary suggestions? Finn Balor famously just said that you skip the middle aisles of the grocery store for people that want to look like Drew McIntyre. Do you have any tips for us?
Yeah, it's not going to happen. But if you want to attempt it, again, mine is very personalized, and it's surprising how little I know about training and diet, because I've always had great mentors and advisors. Rob McIntyre for years. John Cena's trainer has always sent my workouts, always sent my supplements and the likes. Half the time I don't know what's in there. I just know he adheres to the WWE drug testing policy. And over the past 8-9 months, I got a trainer who lives around the corner from me, who's physically came and worked with me. And he has like a rare condition with brittle bone disease, and he's a bodybuilder. He's kind of overcame that and got in the shape he's got in today. And there's a lot of mobility work, a lot of joint stuff that he's learned and strengthening his tendons and and he's working with me in a lot of that. And as a side effect, aside getting bigger, I'm getting more mobile in the ring. I feel better than I've felt since I was 30 years old. And the biggest thing of all was I ate burgers and pizzas all the time. No one believed me. That was my diet basically up until 8 months ago, looking the way I looked. And I actually try a diet now, which is 6,200 calories a day. It's so much food. Unbelievable. And I gained about 10 pounds, but I also gained a lot of lean muscle and lost fat. And I was like, oh my God, this diet thing works. And he's sitting there like, yeah, that's why people keep saying diet over 70% diet, 30% working out. I've always been about the working out. Now I've got everything in check. I've got it all dialed in. And that hard work resulted in this championship. That's what's going to keep me this championship.
It's also resulted in, you were cast in Highlander a couple months ago. And I mean, a little bit of a two-parter here, because kind of based off of, the diet that you've been using to prepare your body the last couple of months. I guess back to the Highlander thing, how was that audition process for you? And then kind of like take us through kind of like the mental prep for that. And then if you could also please rank the following experiences from the last few months: being cast in Highlander, winning the WWE Championship from Cody Rhodes, and I guess inconveniencing Cody Rhodes and Jacob Fatu during and on the way to Elimination Chamber?
I mean, obviously winning the title was number one. And I don't like to talk too much about things that aren't out there yet. I will give as much when it comes to the Highlander stuff as, very cool to have these kind of conversations. Very cool to, speak to the men themselves, the director themselves, and, be offered, parts like I've been offered. But at the same time, until something's out there and it's in public eye, I don't like to go on about it. I don't like to go on about it. I don't like to think about it, because I've seen people get taken out of things. And then you're like, ha, 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 you're not in it anymore. So once it's out there and when you've got an opinion, we'll talk about that. And for the other one, winning the title's number one by far. I told Cody, I've been, I'm going to liberate that title. I did. I'm going to make sure he doesn't get his hands on it. That's what I've done. And somehow he breached the contract. Aldis breached the contract. He's made this match. And for Jacob, it's all on him. Everything I've done to him is completely on him. He blamed me for his teeth getting knocked out his head. So I was supposed to wrestle him because I had a laugh about it. And I was like, you play silly games, you win silly prizes. When he came back, he just blamed me instantly, threatened my life constantly, then started targeting me. And I was like, what's a man to do? Of course I'm going to fight back eventually. I mean, you're my enemy. I'm the worst enemy you'll ever have, as Cody's found out. And again, I could go way back. I could give you my entire history, why I feel the way I feel about Cody. The simple history is, we've known each other forever. I championed him to finish his story. Find these clips online. This stuff's boring to say on TV. It was a long-form interview. I championed him to finish his story. I ended up fighting Seth, beating Seth for the title. He finished his story. He was having a feud with Kevin Owens, losing his mind. I showed up on Smackdown when I was on Raw, hugged him in front of the world, told him I was worried about him. He was like, you're after my title, I know it. So I'm on another show, sent me away. So I left the ring. Then I was fighting Sammy on Raw. He showed up and attacked me. This guy's supposed to be my friend. I tried to help him out. Then you fast forward with the first title match, the referees screwed me. I was going to kick his head through the table like I did prior, put him out because he deserved it. And the ref stopped me. And I was literally like, mate, if I did it on the steel steps or the steel ring post, would you stop me? No. So why would you stop me on the table? BS, referees protected. On the second match, exactly the same. It was Drew. The ref was down. You were going to hit Cody with the title. I was like, no S. I wouldn't swear. I'm being a good boy. But we had a match 2 weeks prior. Cody hit me in the head with the title, got disqualified. So again, I don't turn the other cheek. I'll do exactly to you what you do to me. I tried to hit him with the title. He overcame it. He grabbed me for the DDT, double-checked the ref. I'm pretty sure I saw a wink from the ref, DDT'd me, shoot me out for the second time. And then I had to overcome the odds the third time. So everything that's happened, Cody's brought on himself. Same with like Roman and the bloodline. I can go through all that. Same Jacob, I literally explained what happened there. Give me anybody. No one can beat me in a debate right now or say, Drew, you shouldn't be acting the way you're acting. If anyone does that, they're a new fan or they don't remember more than 2 weeks ago, which is 90% of fans who were in my position. You had a live microphone. You were as big as me. You could do the things I do. You would do everything it takes. You would react the way I react. And in the end, you'd be world champion. Unfortunately, you can never beat me.
You say we don't remember 2 weeks ago. I mean, I think that's largely true. I don't mean to denigrate all wrestling fans out there, but we do remember moments.
Wrestling fans, like, what have you done for me lately? And everyone's on their screens. I can be as guilty as anyone. Usually I do things that shredding everyone on Twitter, but we're all the same. We're all these short-term memories, but thankfully when it comes to my career and my feelings, I remember them all.
We do remember 2 months ago on January 9th, 3 Stages of Hell, where you beat Cody Rhodes for that title. I think the thing that will stand out forever about that was how shocking it was. I mean, I think there was a lot of complacency. Everybody thought Cody would keep winning and winning until WrestleMania. Certainly, if they were going to switch the title, it wouldn't be on an episode of Smackdown. What do you think that your reign has done to bring some excitement to the road to WrestleMania?
I mean, you pretty much just said it all right there. Everyone just assumed Cody's going to win. Cody's going to overcome. That's what he does. I've said it already. He's as good as he is. He's literally one of the best on planet Earth, but he's also protected at the same time. So everyone just assumed, he's going to win. He's going to move on. He'll keep that title to WrestleMania. And it was a shock. But at the same time, it wasn't like a random dude that did it. It was, oh my God, Drew overcame the odds. He gets screwed all the time. And he did it. And some people were like, yeah, Drew. And some people were like, no, we don't like Drew because, again, they don't remember the history. They don't know why I feel the way I feel and act the way I act. But if anything, it just blew up SmackDown, and suddenly SmackDown was different. And I know Cody's way more interested when he's on the chase because he doesn't like it when he's not champion. He gets angry. He starts showing the real him. He starts showing that edge. And he is somebody that can kick somebody's ass, and he can take an ass kicking like no other. And we've seen the way he's been acting, and he's been on fire as far as I'm concerned recently. All the other characters have been stepping up. And generally, the thing they have in common is they all want to get to me, as Cody said, not just because I've got the title, because I'm a arsehole. See, I still made it PG. Still made it PG. And that makes it interesting. I'm willing to be that arsehole for the show. If the thing in the center, the one in the center should be the one that the whole show is built around.
Yep.
And in this case, they all want to come for me because I've got a personal issue with me with a 3-hour SmackDown. And that 3-hour SmackDown suddenly been more interesting than that 2.5-hour Raw that Roman and Punk went on about and tried to say negative things about SmackDown recently. And it went to bite them in the ass.
Well, Drew, we got to let you go. I really appreciate you doing this. As mentioned, you got a big match against Cody Rhodes on SmackDown on Friday. I mean, I guess I'll say good luck to you in getting that overturned, although we all really want to see that match. Just for the record, when you go over Nick Aldis's head, who do you go to? Triple H, Nick Khan? What's the phone call there?
Well, that's none of your business, but
Okay.
it starts with my lawyers, and then it starts going private conversations of what is going on here, guys. That clause is right there. I have it in print. I could show it to you all, which I'm not going to do, but I have it and I see what it says. That's why I acted the way I acted and did the way, I did the things that I did, because I know what it says. There's no small print that I didn't see. That's exactly what it says, and it's BS. And once again, Drew McIntyre's having to overcome the odds, not just in the ring, but from a legal perspective.
Well, thank you for clearing that up a little bit. Like I said, good luck on Friday if that match does happen, and good luck at WrestleMania one way or the other. Ladies and gentlemen, the most honest professional wrestler in the world today, Drew McIntyre. Thanks for coming on, bud.
Thank you, lads. Appreciate you all. Appreciate you, helping me tell the truth, spread awareness.